And pull up a chair, episode 42. I do believe you know what this means, Snooker. We are live.
Yes, sir,
We've been hanging out for a couple hours, but we're now officially live in front of the good Sleepless Radio / Pull Up a Chair Sleepless family. Hope everybody's having a blessed, wonderful, sleepless Saturday. It is beautiful where we are at. Not a leaf moving, which is kind of scary. Maybe a calm before a storm. Let's hope not. Fingers crossed. But it looks beautiful outside, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's been a nice chilly, not chilly, but a nice chill day.
So how are you feeling?
Good.
Feeling good today?
Yeah. Little relaxing Saturday.
Yep, definitely got a good pregame in for this pod.
Yeah.
Watched Fast X. But before we get to it, let's make sure that we let the new people know who put the names to the faces, so to speak.
Right
To my left, we got the great co-host, the ultimate super fried Snooker, off the top of the steel cage, big elbow drop action, Shane McMahon style, coast to coast, put a trash can in your face type shit. And you got your host, El Tucker Tente, the ultimate motherfucking sensei, the one who, of course, taught Bruce Lee everything he motherfucking knows. That was such an anticlimactic clap.
It'd be like that sometimes.
It's Bad Burgundy, a.k.a. Why? Because they sleep on your boy, a.k.a. Young Dumbledore, the lyrical wizard, a.k.a. Stony Montana, a.k.a. Space Mountain Stony. You know who it is. Call me what you will. Just don't call me broke or sad. It's Mr. Keep the Love High and the motherfucking hate low.
Yes, sir.
And well, on that note, like we said, we've been pre-gaming, kind of just getting in the zone for today. It was an idea that we came up with to watch Fast X and give a fresh, right out of the theater, so to speak, review. We did not go see it in the theaters, though. We actually ended up renting it, which there's a whole story with that that's funny. When I asked them if we wanted to go see it in the theater, thank God we didn't, because literally the very next day, they're like, oh, yeah, this Friday it's going to hit digital. And I'm like,
literally.
Well, what do you want to do about that?
Definitely surpassed expectations.
Yeah, let's start right off with Movies TV.
I don't want to spoil anything because it is still a fresh movie.
Yeah. That'll be one to give it time and let more people comment on what they said. But
exactly.
A couple people did want to say, though, as we go into our review, we kind of want to also address the question in the room, which is it worth seeing?
Definitely worth it. Definitely surpassed my expectation for the 10th film. And
because they've done a lot of these bitches at this point.
But they did a great job in my opinion with the plot, the development, like tying it all together.
That was my concern going in. I was like, what do we do in here? Like, are we just kind of throwing something together and making it look good, or are we like actually having like a continued story?
How they tied everything together and whatnot, I liked it. I think they did well.
Yeah, I mean, I think they did really well. I think Michelle Rodriguez, that was one of my favorite characters in the movie, Letty.
Yeah.
I think I liked her role a lot. I like Jason Mimosa. I know Jason Momoa, but I like Mr. Mimosa a lot. Yeah, I thought he did a pretty good villain.
And how they incorporated him, how they tied him in from the past is dope. Without saying too much, but it was because like when you watch the preview, you see a new guy. You're like, how the fuck?
Right, huh? I thought I saw him for a couple minutes before.
Here we go. Shit. We did it. I don't think we ever saw him. Like they added him in, basically.
I see what you're talking about.
Yes, but because I don't recall in the past movies seeing him.
It's been so long for me since those ones.
Yeah, I don't recall though.
Of course, I love seeing Cena in it. Uncle Jacob.
Yeah, that was, and his role as well. Like not
very pivotal.
Yeah, that and like from Fast 9, I incorporated him into the series was dope. So like it wasn't just like dropping it in a blockbuster name, like kind of how like they did The Rock. They kind of like
that kind of felt like a drop in.
That was, but they actually they molded it very well with.
I was like, God damn, y'all already know his name. Like, I'm just now introducing the guy.
Right, but that's why, like, how they worked his character into the series was great, but it was just like, we're dropping The Rock in this bitch.
Yeah.
Like, but they developed it into Hobbs.
Which,
Hobbs and Shaw with Jason Statham, so. Great movie.
Yeah, I thought that was a great installment of the franchise.
Yes,
like,
great. I was about to say, great movie for the series. Obviously, if you're like, is it a great movie compared to... Like Wolf of Wall Street? Like, no, it's not winning awards against Wolf of Wall Street.
I agree. Like, I'm not going to say you're going to hear this thing, the Oscar goes to.
In the action thriller world.
Oh, my God.
Of drama and driving in cars,
action all the way through.
Yeah, yes.
And you get your comedy
I
with
think it was
Roman
like
and Luda.
2.5 hours. roughly.
About 2 hours. About 2
2:20?
hours 20. Yeah, I think that is about what it was.
I would say probably hour 45 action,
Easily.
and the rest is like
Dialogue that you need to hear to know why the action is
conversations.
happening.
Yeah, and there's also, like you said, there's the like little funny jabs and jokes here and there.
You know, Luda and Tyrese are always good for some laughs.
Yeah,
Their chemistry is great.
Yeah, it is, and they did phenomenal. The whole cast did phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, top to bottom. That
and-
casting budget, I know I mentioned it to you early on, but good God.
But like, they make so much money. Like I told you before, I was like,
And like with the dividends and
Like,
shit, they
could
probably all
pay-
bank heavy.
I'm like, they could pay them very well. But like, and if they want to go do another movie franchise, they're not making this money. But like, they've been in it since the beginning, so now it's like, all right, the first few movies,
Let's see this through.
like the first 3 movies, we couldn't pay you because we didn't have money. But after 4, 5, 6, we're making $700 million each movie. Yeah, now on the 10th one, I think y'all all deserve $50 million a movie.
Yeah.
Like,
I know Vin, I mean, he's in the, I think,
the 50s.
yeah, he was
And they-
top 5 on the Forbes for actors like a couple years ago. I don't know if that's still current.
I don't know, probably.
But it seems like the years that this movie
He's
comes,
done
like
a
these movies
bunch of
come out, he
movies,
banks.
like, there's so many movies people didn't even know he did.
He's one of those people where
He's
I
a
honestly,
workhorse.
if I were to give Vin Diesel a huge compliment,
His work ethic, like, he's just working.
that, and I think the way that he picks his movies is brilliant.
Yes.
It's like an artist that picks great beats
Yeah.
and delivers on them because he knows, okay, wait a minute,
Yeah.
this is a gem. I can't pass up on this. And
Or like
to mention it, Pacifier. Like Pacifier, banger. And like I wanted to even
John
take it
Cena couldn't do that movie. No disrespect to John Cena, but it's like
it wouldn't work.
exactly. It's even The Rock
And
wouldn't
like
have done the
you
Pacifier.
mentioned it with the awards things. Like Vin Diesel isn't the guy, and the Oscar goes to. No, but he'll give you a blockbuster entertainer.
and he's
entertainment
gonna be a
fucking
Yeah,
spectacle.
and his character is gonna deliver.
And I wanted to take it a step further and be like, he's really fucking smart. Like he literally makes
He's like
fucking $10 million for playing a fucking animated tree. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Groot.
10 mil.
He said 4 different phrases. Well, he said one phrase 4 different ways.
And what's crazy is they even like pitched the voice. So it's like just another,
Yeah.
but again, genius move. Are we going to hate on Vin for that? Fuck no.
Hell no.
Anybody would do that.
Hey, Groot.
Like, I do that for $10. Like,
No, up it. He got 10 mil. At least need 1 mil.
then again, though, I don't know if I could say it with the same cadence as Chin Diesel.
I mean, they could make the pitch.
But no, I think he did a great
Yeah, I
job.
like the movie. I recommend it.
We didn't get a family speech. Spoiler, but no family speech. I don't think.
No, I mean, you just
Family talk, but I don't think we got an actual speech.
I
I think he saved it. It's going to be like a 30-minute one at the end of the trilogy.
Yeah. Well, this is also part 1.
Oh, that's what I mean. Like he's saving it up, man. The end of the trilogy is going to be like
him
a
off.
fucking
I'm
30
not saying
minute.
anything, but where they cut him off, he can't have a speech.
That's true.
But recommend the movie. Go see it. We'll talk deeper about it in a couple weeks.
Yeah, let us know what you guys think of it. Definitely worth the watch. If you guys want to wait until it hits like Max or Peacock, I totally get it. It's
Yeah,
like 20 to rent,
that's
25 to buy right now.
something like that. Might jump. Who knows?
So 2 other movies hit the movie theater though yesterday, and one of them I might be playing catch up on tomorrow, but that's results to be varied. So 2 movies came out. Transformers, I believe it's called Rise of the Beasts.
Yeah, I think that is what.
Transformers, I don't even know what number we're on at this point. I think we're on like
5 or 6.
Oh, I think it's got to be at least 6. Got to be.
Well, Bumblebee, I feel like stole one.
That kind of stole one. That threw me off because then
Yeah.
there was Bumblebee. There was the one with Mark. There was one with the Cena one was Bumblebee.
Yes.
Mark Wahlberg was 4.
Right. So this, I think.
I think this is officially 5. That makes
Because
sense.
I fuck with Transformers. I'm kind of. I'm going into it with the same way I went into Fast X. This could make or break the franchise.
If it doesn't deliver on it.
Not even not even break, like as in it's done, but like you got this movie is pivotal into if this franchise is going to continue successfully how they thought they were going to. Because, like, this one with the Beast, like,
Well-
we don't have the original pet cast anymore. Like, Shia LaBeouf, he's not there.
I mean,
I miss. But, like, the dude they got, I kind of liked. Not, you know what I mean? In the preview or whatever, who was going to be the main dude.
yeah,
I
which
liked-
honestly, I'm drawing a blank, but yeah.
I don't know the guy's name. I knew.
I will
I
say,
could see his face in the.
At this
preview
point, I
and
think
all
I
that.
have the first two. I would have to, I'd have to go back and kind of brush up to remember where
God,
we're at.
I love the first three. The first
Yeah, the
two
first three were bangers.
are iconic.
Yeah, the third one was when Shia was already bounced. No, Shia was still going, but different girl.
Yeah,
Blonde hair girl.
that's where it started because respectfully, Megan Fox left because I believe some behind the scenes shit was happening with she was.
That was when she was going through bullshit.
Yeah, and rumored allegedly could have been like a director or something
Did some
trying to coerce.
make a pass.
Yeah, trying to use some power or leverage
Yeah.
while she's up and coming.
And
But
plus, she had like Jennifer's body out at the time, I want to say, too.
yeah, so but that's why she didn't go back. After I found out the reasoning, because I was like, damn, why is she not back? And I was like, all right, I understand. But allegedly reasoning.
Yeah, because that's all tied into that Harvey Weinstein shit.
Yeah. What am I call it? But with the blonde chick, the new chick, or whatever, that was 3. Then that was still good. I liked it.
I'll be honest, I saw the Mark Wahlberg one once, don't remember a fucking thing.
I did.
Not a thing.
Well,
You could tell me anything that happened during that movie, and I'd be like, "Yep, I don't remember."
yep. Okay. Cool. It was a good. It was a transition movie. So
kind of feeling out the franchise, like what direction we're kind of heading
yeah,
in.
because they had to. Now we don't have Shiloh anymore.
No familiar
And,
faces,
like none of the original. Well,
and they're not the type to make cameos either. Like they're flat out like not in the.
yeah,
picture.
we're done.
Yeah,
they're done,
like no cameo pop ups like in other shits.
But the best part about it is Transformers are all CGI. And that's half of your main cast.
Yeah, I mean your Optimus Prime is kind of hard to not show up on set.
But that's
He's
like,
there if the computer is.
So like, but it's like in the Mark Wahlberg one, I kind of like think of it as like, all right, we're following a different SEAL Team 6 or something now.
I was about to say, help me out here.
'Cause
I
I'm
might
pretty sure
remember
that's
a little
the one
something.
when they like went to Chicago.
Didn't it kind of almost have?
And, like,
I
he
know this
went-
is probably a terrible comparison, but didn't it kind of almost have a little bit of a GI Joe feel to it? But like with the Transformers,
Kind of because he like went back to like
when you said the SEAL Team thing, I was like, wait a minute, it had a
'Cause
lot
he
of
went
like
to-
shooting.
that, but he called upon like his old homies. Basically, he was like, "Hey, we gotta get the band back together." Not saying they were all military, but like
It wasn't one of those cases too, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe this
Tyrese was
three.
in the band. I believe Tyrese was still in the movie,
Yeah, because they try to make the.
but they drove up to like Chicago or something where they were like someone was being held, and like they were launching some like basically where the battle was happening. They went to it to stop it, so they drove up and they hopped out as like a team of 4 or 5 with Marky Mark. And
which I remember he seemed oddly out of place in that movie.
because it was the first time as him
Yeah.
with the Transformers. It was like
But I feel like there wasn't a lubed intro to him. It was just like a.
that's what I mean. It was a transition movie.
Yeah, it was just like, damn, this one's taking a minute
I'd
to
have
get
to
used
watch
to.
it again, truly, because I'm trying to
Same.
recall it. But like,
I will say though that because we didn't see it today, I probably won't end up like seeing that until it comes out. I'll probably wait.
oh yeah,
I saw that it didn't get a good weekend opening so far. I saw that.
I think
this
that,
morning.
but also
That it
between-
struggled on Thursday night and Friday night.
I also think like that might go to Peacock or something a lot faster than Fast X.
Well, to transition into the next movie that came out yesterday, that I thought kind of took an interesting
Fuck
route.
off!
Well, I just kind of thought this
No,
took.
I'm just sorry. I just had to. Yeah, I just had the urge to like.
I thought
be
this took
weird.
a. Fair enough. Hey, it's Pride Month. Everybody can let their freak flag fly.
Oh, watch your mouth.
I just
Watch your mouth.
completely supportive.
What?
But,
I know, but how you followed up what I said. Watch your eyes.
But
the urge to be weird.
so-
hey, it is
so
that's watch
Transformers,
yourself.
as I was saying,
Yes,
Transformers
next movie.
well, on Thursday night and Friday night, Transformers struggled at the box office, which was kind of unexpected.
People are at work.
But well, here's the thing that I thought that was interesting though, because I
Whoa.
did not think it would have took this route at all.
Okay.
The Boogeyman came out yesterday, and I thought that looked good, but you know, I thought like, oh, you know,
So that's surpassing.
R-rated horror movie,
That's surpassing.
actually surpassing Transformers. Not like I'm not saying it's beating it by a country
Right.
mile, but like it's in the
But
lead by
that's
like
a-
15 million.
Okay, so but you got to think about it. Transformers is his 5th installment. None of the original people we actually loved.
And I
And Boogeyman is now like a rejuvenation. The first one.
and what's crazy is
so
that
it's like something. Ooh,
when they released that full trailer a week ago, which I thought was cool that they just finally released like the full trailer, not the teaser, I was like,
okay.
yeah, like you said, like your eyes said it. It's like this might actually fucking be something.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
Where we know Transformers, that's gonna go to streaming sooner than later.
Yeah. And we know it's gonna end up on probably Paramount or something like I think
Somewhere.
it's Paramount. But yeah, I think that's where it
But
is.
somewhere,
Yeah.
and that's what I mean. Like,
And
You-
to see
you-
Boogeyman cleaning up
bruh. Yeah.
against Transformers, I'm sure, to be honest, when they probably saw Transformers was like, here's our confirmed date, they were probably like,
But they saw. I don't know.
Ugh.
It,
but now it sounds
trailers,
like
could
somebody
be a
in there was
weak-ass
like, hold
Transformers.
on, like, you know, like they dropped their trailer, everybody's talking about it. Let's give ours a minute. People are
But
like kind of
Transformers
doubting us.
trailer
and
was
that.
weak.
Oh, yeah. And then they hit
So
us
like,
with
if
their,
I see
like,
that trailer, I'm like, bro, we're good.
like you think, like, yeah, and like I
They're-
feel like honestly, right now they're
'Cause
doing
they
this shit
could've-
today in the office. They're like,
They could have
come
pushed
on,
it back.
man,
They could have
like,
easily.
let's go.
They could have easily pushed it back.
And think of all the other shit that's still there too. Like, look at that. We almost went to go see Fast X. We're still playing catch up on that. You got that in
Fast
there.
X is genius. They
Right,
learned.
I'll pull it up.
Fast X is genius. Their team is marketing savants. They know they usually break a box office record in the first week. Like the box office record usually gets broken, or they're almost like they're doing very well first week. I just saw it today. I looked it up. They were at 636 million
And
at the box office.
this is everything that's out too. By the
So-
way, I was wrong about Boogeyman. Boogeyman's a PG-13 comic or PG-13 horror.
But so with Fast X, 636 at the box office already. That's 1 week. So now put it to streaming where people can rent it for 20.
Yeah.
Now
And
we're
buy
gonna
it
go
and
to
shit.
1.2 billion by next week. Like,
Which that was kind of genius that they
Genius,
still did it while it's in
'cause
the theater because it's like, look, if you don't
they
want to
know-
go, that's cool.
but
Like,
they know their first week is their biggest week. So after 1 week, put it straight to streaming so all the people that don't like the theaters will still get it while it's hot.
yeah, and
Wow,
fresh,
it's
and people
hot.
are talking about it. Like, well, it's still trending and shit.
Yes. So like
Like I
there's
saw the other night, it
that
was,
was like
trending.
the
I was
biggest
"Whoa."
like that's the biggest marketing capitalization I've ever noticed in a movie franchise. When has a huge franchise ever put their movie to rent a week after it's dropped? A huge movie franchise. A week after it dropped?
Like,
Like that because they realize they've learned.
while they're still cleaning up.
Like they know like our first week we're doing 500 600 million easy. Like 500 first weekend. First week 6 7, so put it to streaming after the first week.
2 weeks. It was 2 weeks.
Still.
Still applies. I just wanted to make sure.
Right, fair.
But dude, there is so
Valid.
much shit at the theater too that Fast X is competing with.
So,
and
okay, so 636 million in 2 weeks. All right, before shit's not hot anymore, put it to streaming to rent. Genius marketing still.
yeah, because I'm looking at all the other movies here, and I don't think any of them have done that. But right now, you got a lot to compete with in here. You got Transformers just came out.
Yeah, I
You
know
got that
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's fucking going nuts, which I actually do want to see that. I heard
I'll
great.
wait for that though. That's coming.
Good friend of the show, Koozie, checked that out, and he said that it was good.
Worth it.
Yeah.
But all right, I'm gonna have to go check it out.
Boogeyman, I plan on seeing that tomorrow. I'm looking really forward to that. I think that's going to be an unexpected banger.
Yeah, I do too.
Little
Watch it,
Mermaid's out, which I saw kind of turned into a little bit of a flop box office wise. But again, there's so much shit in here, and there's people like I'm sure you're thinking it too. Like, well, I'm sure there's people that just want to wait for it to hit this.
That and like you're also that
De Niro's got that About My Father movie out that looks pretty fucking good.
that man just had a kid
Yeah,
or
one on the way. Al
Yeah.
Pacino's expecting too.
Yeah,
Man,
hey,
they're like the Jay-Z and Nas of fucking.
hey, bro. If it's still
movie
work, it's
industry.
still work.
But yeah, Fast X, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, still
That's been out
cleaning
for a
up.
while though.
Yeah, but it's
But
still
it's still in theaters and gotta compete with it.
yeah, still got 6 showtimes, so
God damn.
they got to find some sort of money's worth in that.
Yeah.
Which I still want to see that so fucking bad too.
I'll wait. That's going to Disney.
New movie that I saw is coming out in September, which always seems to come out around my dad's birthday, so it's became like a birthday tradition for him. Expendables 4 trailer.
Ooh.
That looks really fucking good. And they got some new blood in there too. They got 50 Cent. That's gonna be pretty
I'm
fucking
going.
dope.
I'm with y'all.
You're coming with that?
Yeah, I'm with it.
Bet. That's gonna be a dope movie.
I can't wait. Oh,
Looking really forward to that.
And
They
it's
got
gonna be
most of the old cast back.
that's gonna be like a month after the concert.
Yeah, like literally about a
Yeah.
month after the concert, because I think it said like September.
So like seeing
6th or
50 in
something.
person, then going to a screen and being like,
This is
Bruh,
like,
he
and
is
he's getting the
acting?
torch pass too in the Expendables, because like I saw what Stallone said. He's like,
he can't do it anymore.
and what he said, I
Respectfully.
like the way he worded it. He goes, because they were like, how much longer do you got? He goes, I'm looking at the last couple specks of sand in my hourglass, buddy. He goes, I'm getting ready to start passing the torches on these. He's like, so when you said you're mentioning, the new Expendables and Rambo, he goes, are these like your passion projects as a way to like your exit? And he goes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like this is him.
That's the biggest honor you can do to the industry. Is rightfully.
It's like,
pass
look,
it.
people still love these franchises, but we're getting too old over here. Me and Arnold, we got cracked knees and shit.
That, but like the rightful passage.
Yes.
So where it's not like with Captain Jack Sparrow. If Disney does not make an agreement with him to come back, there will never be another.
I'm telling you right now that on screen with Disney's logo on it, Jack Sparrow right now, I'll tell you, will never be Captain Jack again.
Yes. So unless
they ruined that.
Correct. But I'm saying that's the only way there can never be you can't replace.
Get what you're saying. They're never even going to get him on screen enough to pass a torch, so to speak.
Not even, but if you try to replace Captain Jack Sparrow,
it's not going to work.
Exactly. We're not fucking with it.
Yeah.
Immediately, and not you.
First off, you replaced my man, and you didn't.
First off, you off of allegations, and first thought.
Trusting Amber Heard's word is nuts.
You drop my man with no reconciliation of what he's done for.
They shit the bed. Come on, that's a good one.
They did. So that's what I mean is like, under some God's willing grace, he says, all right, I'm doing it. I'm going to go back to Disney. I'm going to agree, but it's going to be on my terms, like my contract. But I'm doing it for the people, not Disney, for the legacy of Jack Sparrow to live on. I could see him doing it for the legacy of Jack Sparrow. But it would be like, I'm being the highest paid actor. I'm doing this. You're not telling me, like, you're bringing back who I want out of my cast.
If I tell you I want a fucking shrimp basket on set, that shrimp basket better be me in 2 minutes.
Yeah, he would be like, but like he would. The only way he would do it is because he wants to for the kids or the people.
Well, that's why I said with the Disney logo, because I noticed that there was a Make-A-Wish thing. And supposedly he'll show up in like full regalia, but that goes right to what you're saying. Like if he's gonna do this, it's gonna be like.
But that way,
you motherfuckers are lucky.
Exactly,
like,
and that way
connect with this guy.
But that way he can bring back the legacy of Jack Sparrow, and then rightfully when he's ready, pass it so someone else can continue it in the future. To where Iron Man, he kind of passed it to Spider-Man with the new suit and shit, but no one can replace Tony Stark. No one can be Iron Man besides Robert Downey Jr.
But I see what you mean. Like he kind of pushed Spider-Man to the.
Here's the tech. You're smart as fuck.
like the forefront too of like the movies. Like where people used to be like, "Oh, the new Iron Man's coming out." Is now how people are like, "Hey, the new Spider-Man's coming out."
Yes, but which
Spider-Man 4 is in the works.
And they put
scripts already out and shit.
He gave him a suit that was with Jarvis in it. So it's like. You're not Iron Man. You're not me. You're not Robert Downey Jr. You're not a billionaire franchise Playboy model. You're a 16-year-old kid.
Oh, I see.
But I know you're a genius and you're going to do right with this technology. So here's a suit. Remember, it was locked. and then he found out how to unlock everything. He had no idea because he skipped the training.
And at first, I didn't even know how to use it or something.
Yeah, and then he's like, Jarvis. And like realized he could tell Jarvis, be like, I need this web, and he'll do it. So like he gave him.
Which I'm glad that you mentioned Spider-Man. Tom Holland said that he's putting the suit back on for a fourth one.
Yeah.
Set for 2025.
Well, I mean, I believe he was under contract for another one, so it's like.
Oh, okay. I wasn't quite sure.
Right, I believe.
I didn't hear anything after No Way Home, so I was like, maybe that's it.
I don't know if they. I don't know. I mean, I could stand corrected, and I'll live by
it.
It
seemed like the scripts are out. I obviously don't think they're shooting yet, but that's in getting ready to be in pre-production. So that's good.
And for the next, he can be the only Spider-Man for the next 5 years, 10 years.
Yeah, I think they got to keep him.
I'm saying like something went sour.
He is a great Spider-Man.
If something went sour with him, and he just stopped filming. It's not like they can just be like replace Spider-Man this year.
Actually, just made me think of something. I actually saw. So I don't know about 2025. I know I saw that rumored date, but maybe still. But I did see that Holland does want to take a little bit of a break from acting.
I think him and Zendaya are gonna have a kid.
And him and Zendaya.
I think they're gonna start a family or at least go get married.
Well, that'd be cool.
I think.
Shouts out to them.
I mean, this is my guessing. Not a
Bubba
kid.
Snicka?
Not a kid. Married. Take a holiday. Get married. Honeymoon.
Yeah, I mean, he's been one of the big faces of Hollywood for the past couple of years. Like, I think he deserves that like little hiatus for a bit.
I mean,
sit with the script of Spider-Man 4 as they rewrite it. I'm sure.
That'll
be interesting.
Yes, it will.
Well, to mention my movie question before we get off of movies and TV. I did want to mention one little quick TV thing, though. I am watching Orange is the New Black. Wifey did get me into that. I finally started watching it. Everybody was right. Blacklist is next, don't you worry. But Orange is the New Black, though, was another one of those two that I really wanted to check out. Orange is the New Black is super dope and getting into it big time. Highly recommend. Only like 5 episodes in so far, but I really did.
I didn't watch it through. But I've watched, I go over to my friend's houses and it's on.
Yeah, I dig it. Definitely interesting.
Yeah, they're good.
So my movie question for you. I saw that it was posted on the Reddit forum, so I wanted to bring it to the pod. So what is a movie? Make sure I word this correctly so you understand. I know I mentioned a little bit beforehand. What would be a movie, or I guess we could say TV show, but I'm thinking mainly just movies, that you feel like doesn't necessarily mean you didn't like it, doesn't necessarily mean you really did like it.
Right.
But just a movie that you feel like either had maximum potential and it just didn't deliver, and you're like, what the fuck went wrong?
Right.
Or like just a movie that you flat out would have made differently, coming from 2 couch directors here. What would be those movies? What comes to your mind? I know first for me, I mentioned it beforehand, as I said, I always go back to the Assassin's Creed movie. Yeah. That movie had intense potential. It could have been a blockbuster banger. Came out around my birthday at the time. I thought, come on, this is going to be great. I looked at the trailer. I'm like, okay, something looks a little off, but whatever. Let me give it a shot. And I go to the theater and I walked out and I literally did not know what I just watched. And what I mean by that is, to anybody that played Assassin's Creed, loved that series, and went to go see that movie, we all kind of got kicked in the nuts. Because whoever made that movie just made that movie because they thought, here's another video game we can turn into a cash cow.
Yeah.
But they didn't know what they were doing with it to do that with it.
At least play the game. At least
it could have been the cash cow if they just made it. Like if they just did what the game did.
If they played the game.
Yeah, like right there, story for story.
Literally.
Boom.
Like one that came to my brain was similar to Assassin's Creed. There's a game tried to turn the movie Mortal Kombat. It was better than Assassin's Creed. But it still is like we could have had so much.
See, friend of the show, Fatika, we sat down, had a great conversation with on the show. He actually loved that movie, so it's interesting.
I did like it. I liked
the difference of Knicks.
I liked it. But for Mortal Kombat,
you're thinking that it could have really.
There were some scenes that were just like, that's horrible CGI.
So now, if you were assistant to the director at the time, and he said, "Hey, what do you think? What can I do? What would you film? How would you fix that?"
How do we have movies where there's flawless transitions from like turning people into ice or fireball coming out of a hand. But then we go to a Mortal Kombat movie. Avatar: The Last Firebender from 2003 or 1 had better little fireballs than this fucking shit. If my memory serves me correct. And when my man got frozen to ice, it looked like bruh.
See, I remember a little bit about the Mortal Kombat movie, but like I wasn't like the big Mortal Kombat guy,
Me
so I didn't
neither,
feel
but
like
I
I was
fucked
kicked
with
in the
it.
nuts on that one.
But it was like one of those like I liked it, but like didn't drop the ball, but like we missed it.
Missed the mark.
You get a double instead of a grand slam.
So like the bullseye's right here. They
Like,
shot and it landed like
instead of
somewhere
hitting
up
a
here.
home run, he's getting like a single or a double. Like you still did good, but you could have killed that shit. Like
looked good in the air, and then you were like, ooh,
oh,
it's kind
that's
of
a-
coming down a little bit.
that's a little plopper, to the short outfield. But like yeah, so it's like it was good, but like Mortal Kombat, Assassin's Creed, like it should be that shit. And it wasn't that shit. You never hear someone come out like, hey, I'm about to put on that old Mortal Kombat movie. That shit was fire.
Yeah,
But
kind of was here and gone.
I'll go rewatch Inception. I'll go rewatch fucking other old movies. Transformers 1 and 2. I'll go watch Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah, it kind of did fall through. I mean,
I'm not saying it was bad.
like now that I think about it, like I remember it was like a moment when it first hit streaming, because if I'm not mistaken, that was like one of the first releases that was supposed to hit theaters, but COVID happened. So they're like, fuck.
Right.
Push back. Let's see what happens. And they're like, everything's shut down. All right, we got to throw it straight to, I think it came out on HBO Max at that point or something.
But like, it was just like, I didn't like, they missed it.
Can you imagine if it would have went to the theater?
It was at the theater. It was definitely at the theater.
They made it?
Yeah, I remember. I think.
Like even if it had the restricted seating and shit? I remember it was somewhere in that era.
I believe it was in theater, but like, I waited to watch it when it was on the stream.
I did think of a movie that I thought had maximum potential when I first saw the trailer and was going to go see it. But the only thing with the movie that really fucking threw me off was like, I thought in my head that this sounded like a great plot and a great movie, but then when you actually see it, you're like, damn, it doesn't really hit. Talking about Buried with Ryan Reynolds in it. That movie where it starts off, like literally 98% of the movie is he's in this fucking coffin. But he like gets like his phone and he's like trying to like weasel and get out of the coffin and like try to figure out how he got there and everything and piece it all together. And I think I want to say it came out in like 2010, 2011. Well, I watched it not too long ago and like, I was like, I kind of remember this movie. And then I was like, yeah, I remember that plot. Like, I almost forgot for a second. I was like, that's dope. And then I was like 20 minutes in and I was like, damn, I forgot it was this.
The whole thing.
Yeah. I'm like it sounds good on paper, but then even when he gives the plot twist, by that point, you're like, I don't even care anymore. I just want you to be somewhere else. Like, dead or I just want to see something happen that's not inside this fucking rectangle and a bunch of blackness around it. So I feel like the
great camera,
like the idea is there and it sounds great on paper. It really does. I just feel like the execution on that movie was
exactly
like if you were the director asking me, I'd be like, I don't know. That seems like an hour and a half of one.
Staring at someone in a
coffin.
Like
you got dialogue and shit, but like
we're staring at a man in a coffin.
Yeah, like maybe if like somebody had claustrophobia or something, like maybe that would be like a big fear to them. But I always thought that Buried was a movie that I'd do differently, or at least I thought had potential and just didn't deliver. But no, that Assassin's Creed bullshit, I would have done that.
That was definitely on my list.
I would have done that 1,000 times differently. Let us know movies that you think or that you'd like to have done differently, or movies that you think just completely missed the bullseye but had everything in store for it.
Or they're just absolute gems.
Yeah, or just some fucking bangers. Yeah. Let us know on those. Maybe we've seen it, maybe we haven't. Well, that's going to get us right into our sports talk. Let's dive right into it.
Y'all.
Get this tobacco lit. But that wasn't a wink. That was like somebody about to have a stroke. But so let's talk a little sports. Let's just dive right into it. I'm not wearing a hat for bad luck. I'm just wearing this is a vintage Cedar Point shit. Little thing going on there. But I do got my Dwayne Wade shirt on in support of my Miami Heat that I'm supporting, and so is my money.
His Miami Heat.
They're just not supporting me.
They're just hit because they're not yours. You had 4 different teams before the Miami Heat this year.
Oh no, I just mean like in the series.
I know,
That's what I got
I'm
my
just
money
talking
on.
Shit.
But
I'm just talking
Himmy
shit.
buckets though, man. I watched a little bit of the fourth quarter last night, and it just
2 nights
seemed.
ago?
Or was it 2 nights ago?
It was not last night.
No, it was last night. Yeah, game last night. They lost. Game 4. Because now they're down fucking 3-1. And now they're going back to Denver, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
Because one of my bets is if Denver goes and wins in 5 games, then that is the stipulation that he gets the money.
Yes. Damn,
So that's going to suck.
Yeah.
But no, it just looks like in that, like the last 5 minutes when I was watching them, it just looks like I think they're just getting out aggressive. Like, I know that's not a term, but like there's just so much more aggression in Denver. Like Miami just seems like, let him blow by. There's Jamal Murray, blow by. There's Jamal Murray, step back, fadeaway. Like, I just feel like, and there was also like a 3-minute period where like the Miami Heat didn't even get a bucket.
It's like a lack of like
their transition ball. This is coming from me. It's not good. They committed stupid fouls,
like
dumb fouls.
What's the word I'm looking for? Like immediately, like they need like their lack of like awareness of the moment, but like there's another word like
like you said, awareness, kind of like the game clock, like
not even that,
the score, like what's going. Like when Jokic was out, he had 5 fouls. That's when you need to put both feet on the fucking gas pedal.
Yes.
And they remain down by 10.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah. It's like we can't. Yeah. Like you said, if Jokic is not
there, it is, Matt. Mango urgency. Like no sense of urgency.
Yes. Thank you, my man. Like literally, that's the word I was like. Perfect. Yes. They like ever throughout the game, like there's no sense of that urgency to be like, oh fuck, we're in the finals.
And I feel like there's
like we're in the fucking finals.
And there's not much intensity either. Like, do you not see Joker out there? He's literally playing like he's batshit insane off an 8-ball of coke. Like, give me that shit. Bam, get out there off an 8-ball then. Whatever the fuck Jokic is on, do that shit. Because that dude's over here preaching his fucking feet out, getting kickball violations just so people can't do smart passes.
Smart. IQ.
Like, damn.
IQ on 1,000.
Meanwhile, Kyle Lowry would have let him score 3 times.
No.
Like,
I mean, I'm not stopping a 280 pounds, 6'10" motherfucker either.
But yeah, no, I mean, they really need to show out in Denver. Because I believe if Miami can win in Denver, which I know I sound batshit right now, but if they can win in Denver.
They already won one in Denver, though.
Win 5,
right,
win game 5.
They already proved they can
and then send it back to Miami. They got to get one in Miami.
Yeah.
So then they're going to win game 6, and then it goes 7, and then anything can happen.
Yeah. But yeah, like you said, they have to win. Their backs are against the wall now.
Come on, who's writing these scripts?
Not me.
Somebody write something. We can't have this 7-5. Somebody write a script. Come on, get on it. Come on, Kenny.
Oh, fuck.
Come on, Charles Barkley. Somebody write me a script.
Yeah.
That sounds like a Percocet transaction. Write me a script, Charles Barkley. What's the dosage? The dosage is that I need this bitch to go to game 7 or I'm broke as a bitch. That's what it is.
It'd be like this.
But no, I hope it goes 7. At this point, though, it's just fingers crossed and pray to your basketball gods because it's not looking very good for us Miami Heat fans in this series. But we can only wish for the best.
I feel like that sometimes.
What do you think? Go back to your point last week. You think it's done in 5?
I don't know, because they won one in Denver, so that was my thing. Like if they didn't,
it can be done type shit.
Yeah.
And now, I think now they should be pissed that they didn't win one on their home.
That's what I was about to say. Now, but we'll see early in the game if there's that sense of urgency. Like your backs are against the wall now.
Yeah, if they go out there with no sense of that, it's
because
It's do or die now.
Yes.
You want to go out there and play like you just did last game? Cool. Then I'll see you on the bus after the game, and we'll go home and be with our families.
Losers.
If you want to go back, if you want to take this thing back home and try to send this thing to 7,
yeah.
you go out there and you play just like they are, if
trying
not
to be
harder.
champions or no?
Yeah. Like, what are we doing here, boys? You just want me to throw in the towel now type shit? Like,
yeah.
because what I saw in the last couple minutes of the game, I'd be like, y'all lucky I don't slap you all across the face. Like, what the fuck was that? I could get a couple guys in the crowd that look pissed off enough to come down there and play better aggressive ball than that. Like, shit. Kayla Martin, you were just letting people just...
Shit, I'm starting to yawn. Fuck.
Like, just letting Jamal Murray do whatever the fuck.
Right. I'm good.
But yeah, no, going to be excited to see where the series goes. I hope that the scripts are in. I hope that it ends up going to 7.
Right.
For the love of God.
Right, though.
So to pivot into a... actually, before I get into that.
I'm snagging this piece.
We got to mention this. What the fuck is going on with Zion Williamson?
Motherfucker.
Oh, he's fucking all right.
I mean, and bitch is getting jealous.
Zion Williamson's going Oprah with these porn stars. Fucking, you get the dick. You get the dick. You get the dick. You get a kid. You get a kid. Everybody gets a kid.
Well, the ones that you better hope I'm not. It's like, all right, prove it's mine.
All I know is I haven't really followed that one too close, but I've been seeing that shit, and I'm like, what the fuck? I guess the one was like a very cheap porn star, and then the one that was like a more like higher up level. I didn't really ever look at it that way, but I guess there's like echelons and levels to that porn star shit. There's levels to this shit. But which I did not know, because the one porn star was like calling the one like a brokey, like, oh, you have to do anal or something like that. And I'm like, or like, you either don't or you do something with anal, though, like that being like the flex. Like that being like the bitch you broke. And I'm over here like, what the fuck? Like, we really do. Like, I didn't really know that was a thing we boast on. Didn't really know that there was porn star beef like that. But hey, I guess every industry's got their beef.
You know what's hilarious? If like a gay porn star came in and flexed on both of them, because like, they probably make the most.
Oh, shit.
I'm being honest.
I'm getting double this month.
Besides, like, the top tier porn stars, obviously.
But I found that shit fucking hilarious. So, pretty much, which I found this hilarious, too. So,
Zion's just out there fucking now.
But you know what his revealed Snapchat name was before he had to change it? Very, very hidden, let me say. Very discreet, I must say. His Snapchat name is I Am, with 2 M's, Zion Williamson.
Bro, he made it in middle school.
Man, you gotta change that.
No, I don't.
If you're out here messaging porn stars, starting porn star beef,
no,
you might want to fix your fucking at name.
No.
Oh, I wonder who this could be. Like, damn, he's not even trying to catfish. That's just.
I was like, bitch, you don't even have my number. You think I respect you?
I just know his swipe ups are nuts. You imagine the Zion swipe up.
This girl was trying to flex on another girl. Like, oh, I was fucking him. Bitch, you are messaging him on Snapchat. You don't even have his number. Why are you trying to flex on him? Like, you don't have his number.
All I know is Zion's killing the pussy more than he's killing the fucking game right now, because...
Oh, you're getting paid still.
I guess so. That one broad, though, that one broad said some funny-ass shit. She was like, but I'm not... But they're not the ones that big you up. Like, I cook, I do all that for you. I told you you could be the next LeBron James. And I'm like, all right. That's a yes girl. So you don't even want that.
Yeah,
like, stay away from that.
he's heard that since
that's
he was
toxic.
12.
That being a bitch's pickup line, though, on Zion's so funny. Or like, not pickup line, but like trying to use that as her like manipulation saving grace. I said you could be the next LeBron. Like,
yeah, so did my coach when I was 11.
So does my mom on Thanksgiving. I don't need to hear it from you.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, when I was dunking on kids when I was 12 years old. That's what everyone told me.
Like, thanks a lot.
No, yeah, that's why I'm Zion fucking Williamson.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, this past week, Zion's name has been big in the news. I saw he made, on the other side of the coin, he made like a huge donation to like some school that like he used to go to, or some school. Yeah, shout out Zion for the people. And, you know, he is giving back to these broads, too. Like, he was ready to let the ones stay nearby, ask her what she needed, how much he needed to send. Wow. You know, and they say chivalry's dead.
He doesn't seem like a bad guy.
Yeah, and they say chivalry's dead. Not with Zion
To be
Williams.
fair, he's a young kid. Man's like, he's younger than us. He's like 22.
Yeah, but he looks like he's 40.
Next to LeBron. What you mean, bro?
Oh dear.
Yeah,
No, if he
also-
keeps playing at this rate, he's going to be the
Man-
next Anthony Davis because
Man,
I see him off the
shit,
court
bro.
more than I see him on the
Zion
court.
can 360 windmills. Anthony Davis is not.
When he's on the court,
Uh,
need to get Zion on the court.
Pelicans basically said they basically told him no.
Yeah, I mean he looks top heavy.
I
I mean he's fucking a lot though,
he
so he's
literally
spending a lot of
posted
time
a
laid up.
video of him doing a 360 windmill, and then Pelicans were like, "Yeah, we're not putting him. I'm good. We're not putting him out there."
Well, they're passing up on the wrong guy. Because let me tell you, he can really fuck another team
I
up.
just want to watch Zion play.
It'll be exciting to see how he bounces back this season. At this point, the whole front row is going to be his baby mamas.
Might be.
Hey, fuck it. You know what, Zion? You do you. All right? You just keep on fucking balling. It's a free world. Life's a playground if you make it one. And he's well, actually, that's a bet. Probably shouldn't say playground. It's kind of frowned upon when you put fucking next to it. Usually that goes south, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah.
but
probably not a good move.
don't make life a playground, Zion. Just you keep doing you. But did want to mention Josh Allen on the new Madden cover. Thought that looked pretty dope. Talk a little football real quick. I know that the Madden cover, it's a thing every year on who's going to get it, who's going to get the Madden curse. But Josh Allen's on the cover. It looks like he's on both the. I don't know if I saw 3 editions, but I saw 2 different editions where he's on the cover of it.
I'll have to look it up. I didn't see it.
But there's like one of them where he's like kind of jumping into the crowd. That looks pretty cool.
I fuck with Josh Allen. Well deserved for the cover.
Do you think he just cursed him though?
No.
Josh Allen's going to go out and have. I thought somebody broke the Madden curse actually. Who was it? Who broke it?
I forget, but
Was it Brady? No.
probably.
I feel like it wasn't that long ago somebody broke it. Where like they actually ended up having a great season. There for a minute when Andrew Luck, I think, was on it. I think Andrew Luck was on it. No, he wasn't.
Oh, that is a nice one with him jumping into the cover.
Yeah, was that the regular edition, standard edition, or limited edition?
Good question.
Looks cool though. Honestly, though, I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna play it. I don't have a system, so I'm gonna have to play that somewhere else.
Good luck. I'll bring mine over.
Big bet. I'm sure you'll kick my ass, but I always have fun.
Yeah.
Same thing with you, Mango. I'll play you too if we get the chance, but maybe I shouldn't put money on that, though. I think I've learned that lesson one too many times. But who am I kidding? I'll probably end up throwing 20 on it. Fuck it. Fuck it. But no, I saw Josh Allen being on the cover. That's pretty dope. Shout out to the Bills Mafia. Shout out to Josh Allen. Dude got to show love to Buffalo. So to move on from sports, I did want to mention before we get into
Patrick Mahomes broke it on.
Patty broke it?
Like Madden 20, and then Lamar was on 21, and then 22 was Patrick Mahomes again with Tom Brady. So like past 3 years,
All broke it.
yeah.
Well, that's good. So Josh Allen, you got nothing to worry about, bud. But before we talk about either of the wrestling things that I wanted to mention, unfortunately, we do have to find us in a quick little portion of the show where we do got to raise a drink, take a puff, do whatever you got to do. R.I.P. A great wrestling heel, great wrestling staple, an absolute fucking maniac if you ever put a live microphone in his hand outside of the ring. R.I.P. to the great Iron Sheik.
R.I.P. Sheiky.
Which, again, it's a great case of lived a full life, 82 years old.
Yep.
Got to check out, just as anyone
It's
would
not
want
an
to go.
early go.
Not by any means. And I love that people were sharing different clips of like him in interviews. There is this one where, because him and Macho Man, he hated Macho Man and he hated Hogan. Really hated Hogan. But Howard Stern at his peak was always good for stirring up fucking drama and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this like 2-minute clip of when he goes, "Hey Sheik," he goes, "Now that you got a couple drinks in you," he's like, "I got a good surprise for you." He goes, What's that?" He goes, "I got Macho Man on the phone. You got anything you want to say to Macho Man?" He stands up and starts saying the most outlandish shit. Macho Man's going off. He's like, "Fuck you, Sheik. Fuck you." He goes, fuck me, fuck you, Macho Man. He goes, I'll take out my 10-inch cock right here. He goes, I'll fuck everybody in this room. And Howard Stern goes, Sheik, no, please don't. he goes, please don't do that. He's like, if you're gonna threaten anybody with that, threaten him. Don't do that. And Iron Sheik legitimately starts like taking his pants off, and he's like yelling straight into the camera. And Macho Man finally hangs up, and Howard Stern's like, he's hung up, Sheik, he's hung up. And he like turns around, and like everybody in the room's like, Jesus Christ, like this guy's fucking insane, fucking maniac.
Oh, that's funny as fuck.
And then when he used to run his Twitter account, well, it's a phony Twitter account, but now I saw they retired it, which is actually oddly cool that they did that. That like they officially like no more tweets, but like they'll leave them all up. But Iron Sheik was infamous for in every single interview at one point or another, he would always say, fuck Hulk Hogan. He always hated Hulk Hogan. So I feel like he called that one early on because when everything like came out about Hulk Hogan, people were like, man, the Iron Sheik's been calling this guy a piece of shit for 30 years. Like, and that's why he was probably at home just like, man.
I wasn't lying.
Like, tried telling y'all, fuck this
y'all
guy.
Just thought I was acting.
Yeah, like, y'all thought I was cutting a promo this whole time. Like, no, fuck that dude.
Trying to tell y'all the truth.
Probably made fun of the Sheik one time in the locker room, and he's like, you're not doing that shit with me. I'm actually tough.
Fuck you.
I'm sorry, but Hulk Hogan is not actually tough. I hope everybody knows that. Like, that was kind of an established thing. Like, he's not one of the wrestlers that could also handle himself well. Sorry, Hogan, you can't give a leg drop on the sidewalk. That'll fuck you up more than the other guy.
I wish somebody would try to just, in the middle of a fight, hit me with a leg drop, bro.
Like, crazy WWE moves, like, in the middle of a fight to try to pull off. Like, you just knock the guy out, and he's just like, hits the ground real quick, trying to gather himself.
You post up with somebody, he just...
That might be scary though, because you're like, where does he think we're at? Like, how confident is he?
He's gonna smack his shit on the ground. I'm gonna kick him in the face.
Or like, what if like you're like, oh my god, he's starting to put me into submission. What is it? And it's like, the walls of Jericho. I'm perfectly fine.
No, actually, MMA. It wasn't.
Somebody tried it. I saw they sat on the back though.
They tapped out.
Yeah, but I feel like that's because they actually like had
pressure
pressure on the back.
That's the actual like.
But like in the walls of Jericho, like 99% of the time,
mean.
it doesn't ever look like there's actual visible pressure.
No, yeah,
on
there wasn't. I know.
Like if you just put your hands up on the mat, you would literally just be doing a push-up. Yeah. Like your arms might get a little strained. But that's why they're wrestlers and they're built like that. Me, I'd fall in 3 seconds and be like, well, Jericho, fuck.
I'm done. I'm done. I said I'm done.
Plus my knees. Both of them would dislocate off that shit. Damn, I'd pull a Vince in the middle of that ring.
And a Sheen.
Imagine getting chokeslammed though in a fight, how embarrassing that would be. Like, dude just like hit you with like a 2-piece, then you're just like, what the fuck?
Fuck that.
Boom! Like,
bro.
You get chokeslam, fight done. Over.
You gotta retire from fighting.
And you gotta make it then look like you guys were just fucking around and that's your buddy. Like if somebody's there, oh yeah, man, we haven't done that in a while, huh? Like, oh, that's good. That was funny. You like how I set you up with that? Oh, and then he does it again. No, then you guys gotta really fight to the death.
Or he fucking spine busters you.
Or like you gotta turn around and hit you with the code breaker. No, actually that would fuck you. Again, that's another move that if you tried that in real life, your back would be shot. Like, yeah, and your knees might actually get really fucked up, too. All you did was crack the guy up top's back. But the tombstone would be the most humiliating one, though. You get tombstone.
You just got bullied.
Tell you what, you ever get
bullied?
You get tombstone in a fight, you might have to. You're either moving and changing your name, or you got to call it quits.
All the kids that got swirlies back in the day.
I thought you were gonna say tombstone. I was like, no bully ever does that.
Damn near is a tombstone. You get people flipping you upside down, sticking your head in a toilet.
I guess so.
That's a tombstone.
But can you imagine also then at the end when you're soaked, getting turned around and just right into the fucking crowd? Fucking
this man picks you up your arm.
Third period starts in 5 minutes and your head's leaking on the fucking bathroom.
And then he grabs your arm, walking across the sinks. Elbow drops you.
Oh God, the old school off the sinks. Then you could super kick him right into the stall and make him land on the toilet.
Bitch. Reversal, motherfucker.
Oh my God. That shit would be so fucked up. Well, the other wrestling thing that I did want to mention, it seemed like Raw and SmackDown this week, they're just doing qualifiers to set up for the
Fuck
Money in the
off.
Bank. So we'll talk about that one as it gets closer to it. I think Money in the Bank at this point is still about 3 weeks away, maybe closer to a month.
Okay.
But I think I saw a couple names so far in there. But like I said, we'll
Yeah.
talk about that one
When
once
we-
they actually have the
when we
match
got more
set.
contestants.
But AEW next Saturday does have their brand new Saturday show that they're starting,
Good luck.
AEW Collision. And the main event was announced, and it's confirmed CM Punk in the main event.
Okay.
And I do believe he's pairing with,
So it's tag team?
yes, it's a 6-man tag match.
Okay.
Let me check to make sure here. See, it sucks I don't know their names quite like I know my WWE guys. So let's see what we got here. I know it's Punk, and I don't want to mess up. I think it's FTR. But again, I just want to make sure. I know they just had their Rampage show last night.
Right.
Let's see. Where are we at? So they're going to have 3 shows, man. It's still so crazy to me.
Yeah, that's fucking wild.
So they have this motherfucker.
You scrolling.
Yeah, it just might take a second.
Why don't you search CM Punk 6-man tag on Google?
I guess I'll just do that.
I mean, I'm just saying because I saw you scrolling, bro.
Yeah, they had a lot of media. I went to the AEW fucking Twitter, and there's just so fucking much there. So that's all right. I'll just go check it out on Google. I mean, the match oddly looked good. It's going to be interesting to see what like the reaction is, because like I saw this one thing that said ticket sales haven't even went up since all that. Like not drastically, at least like not what they wanted to.
People will watch it on TV to see CM Punk again. We're not fucking buying tickets to go see CM Punk. Like,
Yeah, literally right there. AEW Collision ticket sales update following CM Punk's announcement. Not much has changed. Let me just see where the match is. There we are. It's a trios match is what they call it. They can't call it the 6-man tag. So so I was right. It's Punk and FTR, and they are going to take on Jay White, Juice Robinson, and Samoa Joe.
oh,
So it's just like kind of something that
Samoa Joe.
they slapped together. Well, the thing with Samoa Joe there is supposedly CM Punk really wanted to work with Samoa Joe.
That's a good name, though.
Samoa Joe?
Yeah, I haven't heard it in a while.
Yeah, I mean, he's had somewhat of a good run
name
there.
as in, like, good wrestler.
Yeah, he is nice with it. He's good on the promos. He's
Underappreciated.
very much so. WWE underutilized him.
Yeah.
They had that dude getting fucking rained on at WrestleMania.
I mean, fuck him. I'm kidding.
Hey, he went to AEW.
Fuck him. If you got Team WWE, I don't fuck with you.
I actually got to say though one thing about Samoa Joe. If there's one of those guys that makes sense to be in AEW, definitely.
He does, yeah.
Because like in WWE, I even feel like Triple H should be like, dude, you're great, but I got nothing for you, man.
Like, we just have so much going on.
Yeah, like there's just no way to get you in the
No,
mold
yeah.
here anywhere.
I respect that.
I do think though it would have been cool to see him versus Bobby Lashley. That would probably never happen, but damn, it did look cool. Because Samoa Joe's got bad knees, but it's cool that he's actually been staying healthy in AEW. It's actually pretty dope. Well, on that note, you know what that means. We got one thing left.
Mm-hmm.
And, this is my favorite thing to talk about. Saving the best for last, so to speak. But let's just dive right into it. Wanted to talk new music reviews for the weekend.
Yo.
It wasn't like a crazy big weekend mainstream-wise, but there was definitely some things that jumped out to me. And there was something that came out during the week that oddly really thoroughly impressed me. So let's just start there. I like to usually start with albums and then we work our way to singles.
Mm-hmm.
First album on the list I wanted to mention, Babytron 6. That, oddly enough, really stood out to me. Like, there for a while, I was hip to Babytron. I liked him. Thought he could rap.
Right.
But I wasn't ready to call myself like, yeah, like I really fuck with the dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a fan. But then he came out with that Out on Bond EP, where like right when he got that charge in Colorado, it was like a week later, new EP, Babytron. And he had this record on there called A to Z.
Okay.
And I was like,
Oh, I remember you talking about
Yeah,
that,
I was like, all right, wait a minute. I was like, that's actually really fucking good. Like that's superb rapping. Well, then he just came out with this album to capitalize on the success of that EP,
okay.
which I think he's doing it brilliantly. And the album's called Six. And damn it if he doesn't do it 100 again. If he doesn't do it again. He has a record on there, the first one called 100 Bars.
Okay.
And he literally, all of his bars have the numbers from 1 to 100 in it. And he goes in order from 1 to 100.
Gotcha.
Like, for example, he has this
video for that.
Yeah, that's odd that you said that. The video is like booming. Like,
yeah,
he did really well on
viral.
that video. Yeah, like he did really good. And that's a viral moment being able to do that.
Yes.
Like he has that one bar, something, 11, 11, make a wish. When I was 11, I turned 13 because fuck 12 don't exist.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, like this dude's actually got some bars. And then the Crash Your Whip music, Slow Mo, PS2, Twilight Zone. I just popped a perky. Now I think I'm in the Twilight Zone. Like,
yeah,
and it's fun. Like, and what it is, it's like it's fun. You get some laughs in there. That you'll just hear it and be like, what the fuck? Like, who thinks of that? And then like back to being like, oh wow, dude can actually fucking rap. Like, this is actually dope. So I do recommend Baby Tron. Think that's a dope project.
How many songs on it?
How many joints? Let's see. Well, I added 7.
Okay.
But in total, there is 16, and it looks like he just dropped the deluxe, which only has Out on Bond featuring Rio the Young OG.
Okay.
Which I guess him and Rio are pretty cool because I think he mentions him in a couple records.
But
another album I did want to mention just came out from Drumwork Music. I do love Drumwork Music. Conway the Machine, Love the Genius, and Jay Skeese. Well, Love the Genius just paired with a fucking legendary DJ and put out a great album. I should say tape. It's called The Genius Tape, and it's featuring DJ Green Lantern. DJ Green Lantern hosted the project. And it was cool seeing Green Lantern. Brainstorming with Conway's dope. Rome Streets is on Neck Protected. Moonwalk is featuring TF. Hadn't heard of TF before, but that's a dope record. Gotta say, top to bottom, great project. Back End Developer, though, is the one that I definitely want to point out on there and highlight. I'll put the spotlight on that one. Back End Developer is a fucking slap. And like a lot of her beats are usually kind of like Summer Walker-ish, like kind of mellowy.
Okay.
Like I think that's kind of a bad comparison because like she obviously does a lot of the Derringer shit.
He said that,
but this was
actually,
this was very refreshing though. I should say.
A little out of the box or like
definitely out of the box. Like I didn't expect her to like hit that beat like that. But that was actually the one that stood out to me the most. Before I mention the album, let's just dive right into it, actually. Fuck it. This is actually one of my 2 highly recommendations of the weekend. Big time jumped out at me. It kind of looked like it got thrown together at the last second, but I kind of liked how I like it when that shit happens. Like kind of with that Boogeyman trailer I mentioned to you.
Yeah. Static
Selective put out a project. And like I didn't even notice that like he's just been going on a tear. But like this was one where like he wanted to put big names on it. And like also like kind of get up some new names too, which is pretty dope. But all the beats were fucking fire. The production's immaculate. You got Stove God going off on Can't Stop, which was great. Benny the Butcher on Different League. Joey Badass sounding fucking like 1999 Joey on Life and Times. That shit was refreshing. Russ on Limbo. Russ bodied that shit. G-Eazy got his shit off on Vanilla Sky. When that came on at work, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, G-Eazy over Static?
Yeah, that's a name right there.
Yeah, it's like, all right, shit, bet. IDK. Know we got a lot of IDK supporters as well. Love JIDK. Really came up off of Spinning the DMs. That's actually one of the records on it that seem to be doing the best streaming wise. Factory. Which the story of it, if you listen to it, is actually great. IDK's pen is nuts. In the Pocket with Logic, great record. Logic over Static Beast is always great.
Bring in big names and like to get the publicity.
It's
like, all right, I've been cool going under the radar or like underground-ish, not like mainstream. Like,
but I need to get on the hot new music.
Here's my new splash.
Yeah.
Now it's time to make my splash.
And like usually, like when I saw his Hot 97 interview, it was like cool how he mentioned it. He was like, for years artists would come to him and be like, oh, like I want the Static record for my album. And he said it was actually Joey when they were in the session for Life and Times. He's like, man, he's like, you got like all like, the big connects, like, that always reach out to you. He goes, why don't you reach out to them? Like, you put together something with everybody.
Right.
Like,
that's what I mean. Yeah, that's why I like.
Because like
you said, yeah.
Not saying he hasn't done that before, but it's
like,
been a while.
And it's like now it's like you got 4 big, not huge major names, but 4.
Because he has that iconic series. I don't know if he ever continued it, but I know that like he still got that like. I mean, it was iconic for the time, but I feel like he stopped putting installments into it. And even at the time, it was more so like when those guys were starting to just bubble up, like Ab-Soul, Earl, Joey. Where now it's like, oh, they're established. So when you see Logic, G-Eazy.
But now he's also sprinkling in unknown people to people with huge names. So like the publicity of the big names are going to also see the little names.
Yeah.
So he
did
it very strategically.
Oh, and he also has like half the Wu-Tang on number 5 too. But then, like you said, then at the end though, he has these young guys that he's trying to bring up called Full Circle, the show-off crew. So it's like, oh, you got them right after a Logic song. Well, if somebody played that Logic song, couldn't change it, so to speak, if they wanted to.
Right, if you're giving, or you're doing a full listen through, like just to respect the album, like all right.
Hey, there was a couple of those guys at the end. I'm not gonna lie, it came off a little bit like throwing them a bone,
but
at the same time,
you can spaz.
Well, there was like a couple of them that I was like, all right, like this is my first time ever hearing you, but like that was a bar, like that's cool. Like there was one that said like life's thrown everything at me. Something with like the line was on the kitchen sink or something like that, and I was like, ooh, I like me a good old fucking pill reference. But no, thought that was great. However, though, the big standout album of the week, you got to do it. Cleveland, Ohio. This one was for us. Oh, really? Big Doe Beezy. Oh, really? In fact, it's actually called Beezy. So, Doughboy dropped the album.
Okay. That's how we do it. Okay.
Absolutely fucking incredible. Really happy for Doughboy on this one. He did good. I think he did good by the land. I saw that he was, I think, top 5 on the hip-hop chart. Yeah, did you check it out yet?
I have not.
You're in for a great listen. And I think what Doughboy did that was fucking awesome, or, like, I don't think he did it intentionally, but just the way the rollout happened and, like, getting the J-Lo sample cleared, and now that's on there, and just the features that he has on there, and just the whole track listing, honestly, of how he did it. And, like, he's got Crazy Bone on the end. Like to give kind of like a little salute to Cleveland. The thing that and he also had like a lot of different cool skits involving Cleveland, which I thought was dope. A lot of references too as well. But no, man, there's a couple hits on there, and I think the way that this kind of all panned out, I think this very well might be the best project he's dropped yet. Not ready to call it my favorite, but I think this one's
best all the way.
I think this one's the one. Like, I think this one's going to be the one where, like, all of a sudden, Doughboy's going to be popping up on a lot more people's records.
Or they're in. He's getting added to a few more playlists now.
Most definitely. Like, I would go as far as to say his Spotify listeners will go fucking crazy. Like, if I were to pinpoint a couple joints on here to put the highlight next to, that first one, Rude Boy, is fucking nasty. Nonsense is a great beat. I got to go Menace with Future, number 15. But surprisingly enough, I know I've shit on this guy before on this pod. I got to rock with Don Toliver on Deep End with Doughboy. But I thought Don Toliver was actually like
good addition.
Yeah, he fit that record really fucking well.
They worked well together.
Yeah, I thought that was dope.
Hell yeah.
Must say,
that fits well when they.
Also, Kardashian sounds like a hit with Lil Yachty.
You're biased to Lil Yachty.
There's somebody on there though too, but somebody else on there too. But no, that was a catchy record. Yeah, I really think though, top to bottom again, love the Crazy Bone feature. Thought that was refreshing. did want to mention this Janelle Monáe tape though, real quick, that came out. Champagne Shit and Lipstick Lover, 2 fucking bangers, and Nia Long's on there as well. She does a little skit. But did just want to dive into the singles before we get into a couple things, and then skedaddle before we get into Sleepless Radio. Let's see here. We got Sam Smith and Madonna dropped a single. I did not check that out, but I saw that was big drop. We got Angel with Pink Panthers. Saw that just came out. 21 Questions. I didn't hear that, but that's with Blast. But I think he supposedly does a 50 Cent sample. So that might be interesting to hear. For the rock fans out there, 30 Seconds to Mars, Life is Beautiful.
Hey.
Simba, Keep Your Head Up, which I think is a Tupac cover.
I like Simba.
Yeah, it should be pretty good. Baby Tate did My Business, which is actually pretty good. I did check that out. I fuck with Baby Tate. Lola Brooke, Life's on the Line. That was pretty good. Fuck with Lola. Tyga, YG, and Blast dropped West Coast Weekend. I mean, I'm cool if I never hear it again, but that's not me shitting on it. It wasn't like a bad song necessarily. I just didn't find much replay value in it.
Fair.
But that's about it on the new music reviews that jumped out to me this week. However, though, I have been listening to They's new album that came out about 2 months ago that I wasn't hip to until earlier this week, called New Moon, and they have a record on there featuring Casey Musgraves called Wait on Me.
Hey.
Probably about to play that before the battle tonight when I go live for my pregame.
Shout out.
But so one of the last 2 things I wanted to mention before we skedaddle is so I was talking at work, and it was just interesting because I was like, wow, I've always wondered how cool that must have been. So this dude that I work with, not gonna name drop him, but he's 21 years old, and we were talking the difference between wired headphones and AirPods.
Okay.
Because we had the wired shits. He was in high school with an AirPod, so it was easy to just cover that shit. I can't even imagine. I had the fucking cord sticking out. I looked like I was trying to get my math teacher on a goddamn Rico charge, and I'm just trying to listen to the new fucking album over here. Because that was the thing I was telling him. I'm like, bro, it was so difficult before. I literally looked like I was walking like I'm wired up. Yo, who's trying to dry snitch on?
Yeah. It definitely was a different era.
Imagine going to pick up after school, showing up to the plug's house, and you just have 2 earbuds hanging out. He's like, yo, who you on the phone with?
Don't worry about it.
What the fuck is this?
Hey, don't worry about it.
He just hears some Judas Priest coming out of there. He's like, what is that, sirens?
No, it's fucking
But
Def Leppard.
No, this is fucking crazy though. And I remember before too, the headphones used to be super uncomfortable. You try to when I used to actually go on a run. I know, long time ago.
Oof.
But when I used to go on a run and do shit like that, or even try to play basketball with them, and they always falling out.
There's pros and cons. I mean, AirPods. I mean, pros and cons.
AirPods are easier to lose.
Yeah, there's pros and cons to each.
But then there's the headphone cord that would get caught on something. I can't tell you how many times I'd walk into class and it'd get wrapped around a desk or the chair.
Yeah,
and I'm over here just, fuck. Damn. Yeah, it was really fucking hard to hide that shit. I looked like I was trying to get a fucking... I looked like I'm trying to get fucking Mr. Sour on a Rico.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
But,
He trying to fail me. Fuck that.
No, he wasn't one of the ones trying to fail me. I could have got Kernat, though, maybe. But I'm not a snitch. I wouldn't have known what to snitch on Kernat for other than the fact that he looked like a fucking idiot.
That's fair.
He looked like somebody that would do would run a wax museum, but of just Abraham Lincoln's. A bunch of different versions, except for the one with the bullet in his head. But the last thing though I did want to mention, because I'm just tired of seeing her fucking name in the news for everything other than her bullshit ass music. But fucking Azalea Banks had the fucking nerve.
We're not doing this.
Well, I just wanted to mention
I'm not talking about that right now.
Well, I
want her to lay and rest in peace first. Fuck Azalea Banks for what she did. That's all I want to say on it. I'm not trying to speak on that right now.
I just think it's fucking wild that
she
just always manages to fucking dig up some shit.
Yeah, she got some shit coming her
way.
A
fucking roast on Wild and Out, a fucking game show, and then she does a 3 fucking paragraph fucking thing.
Wild.
And since day one, anytime you actually hear her in the news, she only fucking goes off on fucking like always some dark shit. And this time though, Azalea crossed the fucking line.
That's
like,
what I'm not talking about.
Yeah, this wasn't like this was past the. I don't even know if she's trolling shit, but this was like
it doesn't matter. It's you. Yeah, you should,
and she kind of danced on that line too with Iggy when Iggy and Nick Young were having the kid, Swaggy P.
Right.
She said some fuck shit like wish something on the baby, and it's like
that's just I'm cool on that. I'm not trying to talk about.
And it's like if you ever like
It's
hear her
just gonna
music
make me
too,
upset,
the
so.
music's fucking trash.
Yeah, I'm not. She's just gonna make me upset. I'm not trying to talk about that shit.
Yeah, fuck Azalea Banks.
Yep. Exactly.
But one last question I did want to ask you before we do bounce out of here. And then I'll be getting ready for the pre-show of Sleepless Radio. Get some bops off. If you guys got some song recommendations for me that you'd like to hear live before we go live for the official showdown, let me know. But here's what the showdown is. Here's what we got on the card. 12 rounds.
Right.
Sum 41 versus Alice in Chains. Grunge versus Punk. Sleepless Saturday Night. I do believe it's episode 147 that we are on now. Maybe 148. I got to double check. But who do you got? Sum 41 versus Alice in Chains. Me versus Dan Jr. the third.
Off hearing it, I want to say Alice in Chains just because it's the more prominent. But I think I'm gonna go like the Heat. I'm going underdog.
You're going underdog?
Yeah.
You're going Alice in Chains?
No, I got you. Yeah.
Or are you going Sum 41? Because you said Heat.
Summer.
Gotcha. So let's go Sum 41. Need that.
Yeah.
I think people will be pleasantly surprised by the records that I play.
That's why it's like with the Heat in Denver. They're the underdogs.
Oh,
So,
okay.
like,
so I like your spin.
There
I like how you spun the block on me there.
Yeah. Now you understand.
You spun the blocker.
Now you knew what I was saying.
Spun the blocker.
Bullshit. I got it.
But on that note, pull up a chair. Episode 42. It's been great as always. I know we've went long the past couple of weeks, so we'll keep it short and sweet this week. On that note, we love y'all. Just getting started on this blessed and wonderful Sleepless Saturday. Let me start getting a little bit lit. Let me make my BEERUN be a run and come back and get ready to go live for the pregame of Sleepless Radio. Love y'all. See you next week, Lord willing.
Stay blessed and less stressed.
Boom.